Years ago, later this morning, JFK was taking a motorcade through Dealey Plaza in Dallas, and that day changed the world forever, and a lot of people are marking the 50th anniversary. We're going to go live to Dealey Plaza right now via Skype and check in with a good friend of the show. His name is Tom Becka. He works for Koil, 1290 Koil in Omaha. Tom, good morning.
Morning, McGraw. It's quite the day here in Dallas. So weather is really lousy, to be honest with you. But the crowd here at Dealey Plaza is already congregating. I'm in the media tent right now, and let me take a few steps outside here. And as I walk, literally, where the media tent is, I'm just a few steps away from the famous grassy knoll, which many conspiracy theorists believe is where a second gunman was located in the assassination of JFK.
It's interesting that they put the media tent right behind the grassy knoll 50 years later. There seems something bizarre about that.
Well, actually, the whole thing actually seems pretty bizarre when you think about it. I mean, here we are at the site where, one of the biggest tragedies of the world happened, and they're here to commemorate 50 years what went on. And Dallas has really never like this. Dallas has really shied away from it. They have been rather embarrassed years ago. Right now, I'm stepping outside now. Now I'm actually here in the grassy knoll. I'm looking at the staging area where they're going to be holding speeches and have some music at noon when it happened, and then later on it'll be open completely open to the public. But right now, there's all kinds of security. Dallas wants nothing to embarrass them again with this. All kinds of security. There's more security here now than there was 50 years ago.
Yeah, that's a really interesting part. They looks like they've closed down the road.
They have. The whole thing is blocked off. To get media credentials, I had to go through a background check. They had to check to see, make sure I was legit and everything. And the police did a background check. There's bomb-sniffing dogs walking around. To get from one part of the media area to the other part, you got to go through a metal detector. And it really is. Now I'm standing outside in the grassy knoll, and I'm looking up at the window where Lee Harvey Oswald was looking down, 50 years ago. It's the whole thing, as a kid, I remember this was the first news story I really paid attention to. I'm 58 years old. So, I was 8 years old. I was in second grade, and my dad made me. He said, "You've got to pay attention to this. This is very, very important."
Yeah.
And it's very weird being here 50 years after the fact.
Tom, who are some of the speakers who are going to be there to speak today? Do you have any idea?
Well, I know who's not going to be here, and that's any of the Kennedys. The Kennedy family has shied away from this entirely. But yeah, there's going to be historians, noted historians are going to be here. The mayor's going to be speaking, people along those lines. And it's a way for Dallas to actually sort of get itself back, to reclaim itself. It's rather bizarre. It's almost like a tale of two cities here. Because you got some people here that are so involved in this commemoration, and other people, especially the younger ones, have no idea just what went down, or don't really care.
Right.
So it's almost a tale of two cities here right now.
Tom, go ahead.
This
Kelly.
is really, Tom, the first official commemoration that they've ever done in Dallas, right?
Oh, definitely, yes. Yeah, like I said, Dallas has been embarrassed by this. They've shied away from it. They really, at one point in time, they had talked about tearing down the Texas School Book Depository, and they decided not to do that. Historians and that said, no, we've got to keep it up. And actually, there's been a kind of a mini tourism industry built around the assassination now, with the School Book Depository and all. But yeah, this is the first time. It's like the 50th anniversary. It's about time for Dallas to acknowledge it and move on.
Tom, listening to you and watching you via Skype from Dealey Plaza, for those who are listening on the radio, you're actually standing, it looks like, from the view I see, the exact same place Zapruder was standing when he took the film.
This is right about where Zapruder was. Yeah. As I understand it, at least. Yeah. This is, and then if you look at, for people that are watching, just go and pan over. There's a big media tent there, and then of course there's the overpass where the car sped under on its way to Parkland Hospital.
Yeah. Tom, we were there together a couple of years ago, and we remarked that there were X's in the street where the shots supposedly rang out. It looks like those X's aren't there now.
They're not there. No, they've actually been paved over, which has been a little bit of controversy right now. But I think it was just paved over for the event itself. I think that they're going to probably put them back out, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But they right now, yeah, the whole street's been paved over.
What about, do you see any protesters, any people talking about conspiracy theorists, any rallies like that there?
No, and you won't until after the official event. Because right now, anybody that's going to the official event that starts at noon, the commemoration, anybody that's here had to go through the same security check. They got invitations. They are it's by invitation only. After that, they're going to open it up, and then people will be able to just come and walk around and official ceremonies. But no, right now it's pretty quiet as far as that goes.
Tom Becka from 1290. Tom, 1290 Koil. Tom Becka is with us broadcasting.
I just had a thought here.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Tom.
This is kind of a random. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
Kind of a random. Yeah, McGraw, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go ahead, Tom.
Okay. Kind of a random thought here. The weather right now is really, really crappy in Dallas. It's cold, it's rainy, it's miserable, and you have to wonder if those that believe the Warren Commission report that if it was just Oswald acting alone, that JFK would have been alive. The top would have been up. The people wouldn't have been in the parade, and it would have been a whole different scenario. Lee Harvey Oswald would not have had the shot that he allegedly had. Had the weather been as bad then as it is today.
That's a good point. Tom Becka live via Dealey Plaza via Skype from 1290 Koil in Omaha. Tom Becka, we'll let you go. Thanks for checking in. Some extraordinary video this morning. Thanks, Tom. That's Tom Becka live from Dealey Plaza. For those who are watching online, it's pretty cool. For those listening on television or listening on the radio, hopefully we'll be able to give you some of the pictures. But I mean, some extraordinary stuff from there.
Oh yeah, and it's amazing that he was able to Skype. He did from all angles, where he was.
Yeah. Pretty eerie. He's in the same spot as Zapruder was 50 years ago.
Yeah, it is eerie. And then looking at the video from 50 years ago, and it's interesting that it's an invite-only ceremony.
Yeah.
And how tight security is.
Tighter today than it was 50 years ago.
Yeah.
Think about that for a second. 7:58. Blue Ocean Portfolio sponsors traffic and weather. Here's Tim.